That's where we're going.
Back in your lives, in your ears, and in your face. Welcome to another episode of Papa G's House.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ah,
Thank you.
Thank me. Ooh.
Thank you, first of all, to the loyal subscribers. Thanks for checking out my last episode with Hi-Wraith. Hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to more content. But before we do anything, hit that little subscribe button and possibly the notification bell. What is that thing for anyway? Just to let you know, because I mean, I press that thing for other channels and I don't get
And
the
you don't get the
notifications.
videos anyway. Yeah,
Yeah,
same
that's
here.
true, yeah.
Thanks, YouTube algorithm. That's excellent. But anyway, on that note, I have a very fun episode in store. Well, let's hope so. Let's hope they can bring their A game.
Don't set the bar too high.
We've got Jandre, we've got Trent, we've got James, and I have to ask you, bro, is it Alex or is it Brendan?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
But until you earn the license, it's Alex.
Okay, so it's Alex.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Shit, bro, I feel like I have to get into an elite club. But we have Set for the Sky on the couch today, and I'm sweating like a motherfucker because it's
Hot
damn
stuff,
hot today.
dude.
Hey? Hence the board shorts.
I
Yeah.
thought it's just because it's us.
You make me so nervous, guys. But Set for the Sky, thank you guys so much for joining me. We've got lots to talk about.
Yeah.
We've got lots to be excited about as well.
For sure.
Obviously, because when this airs, next week, this week, you will be playing with Crown the Empire.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. So how's the build-up and how's the preparation and everything been leading up to this?
Stressful,
Yet
actually. but
another
So, yeah.
yeah.
international
Oh, yeah,
supporting.
it's another one.
role.
So, one thing that like most people might not know is like when we started the band, obviously your initial inspirations and stuff. When we started off, between a band we actually have played with, Eskimo Callboy, and Crown the Empire, were our complete main inspirations. Like
Yeah.
the whole first album is like, not only is it so inspired by like Crown the Empire, but I think we even stole stuff from them.
Well, it's called Machine.
That's- yeah,
I've actually
so-
got it. Okay, so tell me more. So they were a huge influence of yoga.
Massive, yeah.
Okay. So when did you discover them? I mean, they've been around for like...
It's like they're going on 10 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's their 10-year coming up now.
I found that out on the live stream.
It was Graydon.
Yeah.
Graydon showed us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like, oh, check this heavy band, you know? Because his brother only listens to heavy bands. And then he's like, oh, check this
Yes,
heavy
for that
band.
time, it was pretty heavy.
Yeah, well, jeez.
Well, it is pretty heavy still. I mean,
Yeah.
it's... I
Not
mean, they're
anymore.
full of... Aren't they? Okay, well, I mean, I don't never really followed them.
They've
but,
done the like Bring Me to the
The music is
Horizon
more
thing.
beautiful now.
Okay, so how so more beautiful? Are they doing like more
I-
melodic, big choruses and all that kind of stuff?
It's always been very melodic, I think, but like now it's a lot more, I don't know, less user friendly.
Okay.
User friendly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's more mainstream, definitely. But
Okay.
They're tickling more audiences.
yeah, which is it's still
Yeah.
nice though because it's still
Effectively,
very
though.
progressive.
Well, I mean,
Effectively.
it's very seldom you find bands doing exactly the same thing throughout their career. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
there's a lot of bands who've changed. I mean, you mentioned it earlier, Bring Me the Horizon. I mean, they
yeah,
went
yeah.
from
Yeah.
being deathcore, like
years.
pioneers,
Winning awards
to,
now,
Big
yeah.
to now
change,
winning
dude.
Brit Awards and all
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
And they being like massive features about them as well.
Yeah, I find that amazing, though.
I think
They've
it's
done
awesome.
it right, dude. It's
And
really,
I
really
loved
cool.
That's the Spirit. I thought
Oh,
that
yeah.
was an
Yeah,
amazing
good
album.
Yeah.
I often like to think like all of the new kids that discover Bring Me and go, wow, this is so cool, this music. Like and they go back to like, oh, they have old music that's out. And they go back to like a few years
Pray
ago,
for
like
plagues.
let's listen to some more. Like like how much that happens to people.
Yeah.
I'm really curious.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. It's a weird thing because to go from so heavy, and then I mean, there were a lot of people. I mean, I think I've even had this conversation before on this podcast where I think Jared even said they should have changed their name, and I'm saying why?
No.
It's the same members. They just want to play different music.
Yeah.
I wonder if people they go back to their older stuff if it actually ruins the band for them.
No, I think it's more of like a gateway drug. Because
Yeah.
there's something
That's what we
about
hope.
it that's like, okay, it's cool, a little modern, and then you find like there's actually an aspect of it that's like really dope, and then you can follow that all the way back. Well, most of the time, unless they change singers or something.
Darker, heavier music has become pretty commercial over the time now. So it's more acceptable.
Yeah. And they still play the old stuff live anyway. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you
Keen
change
for
the
that.
band completely, you can't really.
Yeah,
play.
I actually watched. I don't know if you guys know the punk rock NBA. That dude, I think his name is Finn McKenty. he does all these like what killed deathcore, what did this, and
Oh,
what
yeah.
did that, and then they say the one was what killed emo or screamo or
yeah.
whatever, and what it is today, how the Post Malones and your Billie Eilish and all that kind of stuff is basically the new age
Yeah, it is.
kind of
Yeah.
alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it fully is. There is a market for it. So if people say that it is dead, it's not.
Yeah.
It's just taken a
It's
new form now.
evolved, yeah.
And it creates a lot of the stir with the hardcore elitists.
Yeah, for sure. Gotta
Let's not
love
go
it,
there,
dude.
let's
Oh, we love them. It's okay. We love them.
Yeah.
Everyone.
So I mean, obviously you opened up and said that Crown the Empire is a huge influence of yours, but now obviously in the lead up, I mean, what was your first reaction? I mean, you have supported international acts before. You've been doing it for a good couple of years. What was your reaction like when you got the Crown the Empire call up?
I squealed.
Well, okay, look, at first it was Dance Gavin Dance.
Yes,
So it's a real bittersweet trade-off because I would have loved to see Dance Gavin Dance, and I'm sure we still will.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see them as well, or having supported them as well.
Sure. I'm
But
sure
when
that's
we-
going to happen. I don't think they're going to
Yeah,
cancel.
I
the
really
tour
like.
and
I would
not wanna
love
come
to
back.
just see them. But when we got the email telling us that they've been swapped with Crown the Empire, literally shut our pants. Like that was kind of a big moment.
Sick.
So
And where
yeah.
were you guys together at the time?
we were together busy having beers.
Okay.
And we got the email saying show changes or something. And I thought, oh, damn it, man, show's cancelled. Like, it's not happening at all
Yeah, yeah.
anymore. Scrolled down a little, kind of expecting just, sorry, guys, we'll keep it together for the next one. And then just in bold, Crown the Empire. And I was like,
What?
dude, holy shit.
Yeah, I couldn't believe our eyes for a while. We were
Yeah.
like, "This, are they messing with us?" Like, yeah.
That's that's
yeah.
epic. I mean, if one of my major influences, like if I got an opportunity to open up, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Barco Drive.
Can't wait, dude. Can't wait.
What did Face of the Gallows, the dudes from Gallows say? They said they were whelmed. They weren't overwhelming. They weren't underwhelmed. They were whelmed.
Just whelmed.
But I'm not going to take the word for it. I'm going to see it for myself. But so how's the preparation been, guys? Like, what have you guys
Good.
been up to? Have you guys got your own dedicated rehearsal spot and all that kind of jazz?
Bit of a makeshift one. What we used to do, we'd practice at night, so like we couldn't make a bunch of noise, so we'd practice at the studio, which would be electric drums and all that. But then we always found that we'd have to trade it off with a few loud practices, which we aren't quite kitted out to do that ourselves yet. So that's kind of just a makeshift. Put everything down, just make as much noise as possible.
Yeah.
And also we run a whole in-ear rack system. So it's one thing to set it up in a studio and have complete silence around it and then put a loud-ass drum kit next to it. So yeah, it's been going pretty damn well.
basically, we're saying that the main person that is affected is you.
James mainly.
Why?
So-
Why?
Well, to me it's the same every single time, but well, actually, no, you're right.
Yeah, because
yeah.
when Alex is like, oh, I don't want to play an electric kit, he wants to play an
Yeah.
acoustic kit all the time.
Sucks, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also your fucking roof fell in the other day. So that
What?
made
Dude,
you-
Yes,
we had
holy shit.
the craziest wind. Like, what's it, a month ago now?
Yeah. Must have been.
Craziest wind, Gordons Bay. Gordons Bay always has wind.
Yeah.
But we had 7 days of the craziest wind, and my entire ceiling, which is like 2 stories high, collapsed in my lounge. And it's still lying there now because insurance hasn't lifted a finger to come and look at it.
Oh wow!
So-
And luckily, no one was underneath.
All
it.
the gear was standing under it.
Oh,
and
wow.
Still there.
I've done some pretty damn fast changeovers on stage before. I've never
was
done
quick, dude.
a one-man changeover that fast in my life
Okay,
before.
so it's all the rehearsal vibe is at your spot.
Yeah,
Okay,
it is,
cool,
yeah.
cool.
Well, the loud one, the studio one, quiet one, that's at JD's house.
Okay, so you've got a little studio set up as well
Yeah.
at home, and then you've got like
Big
Space.
ass living room. Yeah.
Just space, yeah.
Okay.
Someone called it a living room. Like,
Yeah, it's more of a construction site now. Just 'cause
Shame, man. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, and I hope it all
it's
works
super
out.
chill, dude.
Sure.
So it's always
Okay.
exciting when the house changes like that.
Yeah. Major changes to the structure. I mean, let's hope you're not on one of those hills in Gordon's.
We're on the
Oh,
mountain.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Shit, I'd sleep out for a couple of nights and just see if everything's
It's cool.
okay.
It's been a month. We've gotten used to
Okay.
it now.
All right.
Every now and then a few things fall
constant
down,
fear,
and we're like,
yeah.
yeah, it's constant fear. yeah.
So
like a
so we could safely say that your lead up hasn't been the smoothest.
No, but
Well, It actually doesn't matter too much because the system that we're running, it's obviously everything's in-ears, everything's pre-mixed. So no matter where we practice, whether it's out on the lawn, my house, his house, anywhere really, it always sounds the same as live would.
How so? Can you so what do you run it through? I mean, obviously you got your in-ear system and all that kind of jazz.
We call it the mothership.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of gear in there from like Ampsum's interface that runs like a mixing software, and then all our wireless units for instruments and in-ears are in there. And we have this like backtrack player. I want to say it's fancy, but we have had nothing but problems with it.
We paid so much money for it. Actually recommended by Eskimo Callboy. We bought it straight after that, and we were like, wow, this thing's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But so that runs all of our tracks. But it's set up in a way that live, because shit goes wrong live, okay? Like it always will. A laptop will freeze or updates or whatever. So we wanted a system that if anything dies, we can still go. We can still play. Nobody knows, none the wiser. So we forked out a little extra cash to make sure that happened.
I mean, that I can imagine that was quite an investment.
Yeah, well, it took a few years to
time,
get there.
yeah.
But so yeah, and
See
that
the tears
all,
rolling down your eyes.
It's in the
That's
past.
your pension fund one day.
But with that, everything set up finally, a lot of work's gone into it, and all the tracks and stuff. And for us, running in-ears, because also live, you can never get monitors to sound perfect.
Yeah.
There's always an issue. It's either this or the mic's feeding, or James can't hear himself because everything else is too loud. So it's also for that, like we run a completely separate system in our ears than what the show gets. And that's the same live, and it's the same.
I mean, I'm sure you've got like used to it, eh?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm sure that must take some getting
well,
used
I think
to. For
I
sure.
think
for
James
sure.
probably benefited the most because he can hear himself now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeez.
So
Used to be me screaming through, like, just noise, wall of noise all night,
Is it? Eh?
and then hoping that I'm on the right key because I can't hear anything above the cymbals that are
Yeah, for
helicoptering
sure.
behind me.
So is this when you weren't using in-ears?
This is geez, I used to play with earplugs for like the
Okay,
first
yeah, because I
70
often,
shows.
because I've seen you guys play a bunch, and I often check you clipping it out of your, so you can
it's
get
great.
one.
I feel like I'm in Lincoln Park. It's great. Clip them out, and it looks smart.
Yeah.
It's okay. You can now listen. Okay, cool. That's what I was trying to hear.
Okay,
Great.
cool.
I'm back to where I was.
Everybody's got
when I
their
was
own
a
little
kid.
idiosyncrasies there.
Yeah,
and,
it's
something
interesting.
that you need to do.
And you're never quite sure what the right way is to do
Yeah.
something, but then you realize no one knows. Actually, like, okay, cool. There's a certain way that professionals do it. Most people just find their own way.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
And
it's everybody needs to be comfortable with their own situation. It's how you feel. You gotta do it how you feel. There's no right or wrong way. It's how you.
yeah, you got to be comfortable.
Yeah, for
When
sure.
you walk on a stage, last thing you have to worry about is your gear.
Well,
Like,
no.
Why
The
does John
the
do it
first
this
time
way?
ever, the first time we were ever taking it out for like a test drive at a show was
This
when
is
we were opening for
Secrets.
Secrets.
Secrets,
Yeah. And we had
Another
just
great
sound
band.
checked. Yeah, amazing. So we had just sound checked, then Secrets went on. So we had to set up the rack on the side of the stage.
For the first time.
First time ever. We're like, wow, this new gear's finally come together. We all have click tracks. It's all going to go amazingly. And during Secret soundcheck, the audio interface blew. And that just meant none of them had... No, wait, what did it cut for you guys?
well, everything. All the in-ears were much. And my bass guitar, I run through a VST as well. So if the laptop dies, there goes my bass tone completely. I don't have an amp or anything around it. It's all software.
So you go direct, eh?
No, not directly through. Hell no, not a DI bass. But
Okay.
my amp sims and stuff are on the computer. So, and because you don't have an interface to run through, that was not happening either.
Wow.
So we ended up at least what we got because of this way we set it up. We at least still had click tracks in our ears. We couldn't monitor each other, but we did have click tracks, so you could stay on time and stuff.
Yeah.
But if and those in-ears seal, so yes, you can hear the click, but you can't hear anything else. So like knowing where you are in the song, or you even the right part of the song, like that was one of the worst shows we played.
What? So they're like complete noise cancelling, eh?
Well,
Yeah, mostly.
Because I struggle. I don't play I don't play with anything in my ears because I practice at rehearsal and all that kind of stuff with plugs and all that kind of jazz. But when it comes to playing live, I can't do it because I feel like I'm in this little world.
Yeah, so, the stage is so loud in anyway that you will end up hearing
Yeah.
through it. but it's basically what you would be hearing, just the less loud version of it in a closed off space.
Okay.
Yeah. And when
So-
for us, it's also wireless. If you're moving around, if we're moving around the stage,
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Exhibit A.
yeah, if we're moving around the stage, and monitors, like different things go through different monitors.
Yeah,
so
sure.
oftentimes James as well, he goes and walks on the bar in some venues. So like with that, you can't hear anything if you don't
we're
have your
gonna get
monitor.
to a few stories about.
But-
you
oh,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, he's crazy. But yeah, so if you have in-ears and you're completely wireless, it's great because you always hear everything all the time. It's
Yeah.
all crystal clear. It also helps with feedback a lot because monitors on stage, you can either turn off or turn low.
Yeah.
No more feedback with a mic. So there's so many positives to doing this.
And when did you guys make the switch? Obviously you haven't been using VSTs for your whole
Yeah.
Music
set
Well,
for
we
the sky,
started off.
yeah.
We started off with a little sample pad.
Well, no, we used to. Oh, that's
Did
actually
you never
right.
use
Yeah.
an amp ever?
What? An amp?
Talking about you specifically.
I'm talking. No,
yeah,
but
you
said
did. You did.
You played
yeah.
through VSTs and stuff. So
Oh,
when
no,
did you
yeah,
make
no,
the switch
yeah,
from?
That,
like
that all
from-
came together.
what do you use, Trent?
No.
No.
No, you don't use anything.
HD.
It's just the pod that's in the rack. It's not actually mine. It belongs to the band. And like, this guy is,
Okay.
he's kind of the expert on the tones and shit. So
Okay.
unfortunately, I've just been put in a little box.
This is the tone
this
you
is
get.
how you will
It's
sound.
playing now.
Okay. Yeah, but you mix and mastered all this stuff as well.
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
you?
yeah.
So I mean, I can imagine if you want to take the sound from as close as possible.
Yeah, I mean it's exactly the same VST that we
Yeah.
used for most of our songs.
Okay.
It's the Line 6 stuff.
Okay, so you've never really used. You've always been digital.
No, in the beginning we did use amps.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I had this like little shitty Marshall, like I
Okay.
don't even know how many watts it was, but like that was like our go-to. That thing, got banged around. But yeah, and then like I was like, I'm not a gearhead like in any way, shape, or form. Like I like guitar, don't get me wrong.
Sure, and
I'm more
you're pretty
pla-
damn good at it too.
Well, thank you, my dude. But yeah, and so that's why me and John Ray's relationship works so well because like he's obsessed with the gear and shit, and I just get
The
to come
technical.
up
I like the
and chuck and
technical
play
side.
stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you've got gear-related questions,
Just
John
disclaimer.
knows.
He also knows a bit.
Okay, wicked. There I go saying fucking wicked again. The last episode, I think I counted like 15 times or something. but I'll try and avoid it in this one. Okay, so I'll put the gear talk to bed. Okay, so you've been preparing for Crown the Empire. You have been working in studio as well.
That
What
we
you guys
have.
been up to? Tell me.
Wouldn't you want to know?
Of course. I don't know why you're here.
Shit.
So what's
You
been
want to
happening?
tell him,
Tell
you
me.
can tell
Aren't you
him.
guys
Tell him.
excited what's happening?
There's
Is
a new
there
song.
New
We're
song?
releasing a new
Yay!
song.
Attached with a new EP album? What's
No,
the
it's just
story?
a new
Is
song.
that- Just a new song.
Yeah, it's a
Okay,
new song.
settle down now.
Yay!
There is more in the works though, but
Okay.
for now it's just a new. It's
There's
a new
another
single.
song.
Yeah.
That's true. We actually, so obviously we're playing this new song
Yeah.
live
Yeah.
in Crown the Empire, but we're actually playing a never before heard before song, which is also new.
Okay.
Not recorded yet, but that
It is
we-
recorded. Sure.
recorded. We're just not going to put it out yet.
Well, okay.
Got to get our money's worth on the first one.
Sure.
Yeah, so we're actually playing a brand new song that we've never played live this
Okay,
gig.
awesome, man.
And so we're kind of nervous but really excited because
Yeah, we've never even rehearsed it yet. So we're just gonna,
We'll see what
Hey,
we,
man,
we
nothing-
have this like idea of a song in our heads, and we're just gonna get to it and go, "Yep, that's what happened."
I'm pretty
just
sure
chug on zero. That's
Yeah.
it.
if anything happens, I don't think the audience would really mind if it's
Probably
something.
not.
new.
Probably
As
wouldn't
long as
notice.
there's a few
Very
beers in
I
there.
don't think they would
noisy
even
music.
realize,
Yeah.
probably. So, but that's awesome news, guys.
Hang on, what are you trying to say with that?
Too
I
late
don't
now.
know. But yeah, that's cool to hear that you guys are working on new music because you guys went all out with your first release. You did a fantastic job. One thing about you guys, I mean, we'll talk about that after the quick break, is your guys' marketing. I mean, obviously, I've known you guys for like a good few years already.
Yeah.
But you know, as a natural process for me getting into the headspace to do an episode with the guys, I'll do a deep dive on all the social media and all that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
cool.
And it's a really, I mean, how do you? It's I say it. I think I say it a lot, but it's an attractive thing when you see such a well managed social media presence.
Thank you.
You guys' photos are always on point. You've always got some quirky themes. I mean, take for instance, we'll talk about that as well as your latest one that you did, the Hot Ones Challenge. And
we
I
should
mean,
have done that tonight.
even your when you had that thing on your head, you wore that for a while actually. That
That panda shit.
yeah, the panda thing.
Oh, yeah.
And you
still
guys
wears
had a
it.
whole bunch of like bunnies and
He
toys.
wears it every night before he goes to
Yeah.
bed.
So I like the way you guys change up the themes and all that kind of stuff.
Thanks,
It's
man.
really cool. And obviously, dealing with the social media and the marketing. Obviously, do you guys do it yourselves? Do you have people helping you?
All in house.
All in house.
All in
Everything is
house.
in
Yeah.
Everything is always all in house.
Yeah.
We haven't been on top of our game like in the past, I'd say, year and a half on that front.
Sure.
But we were spending time and like researching things, trying to keep up with it. But you know how things go when everyone gets busy and you had this really good idea and then you're like, oh, somebody else did it already.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah,
So-
no, I can. Okay, I don't know about that, but yeah, I mean, I can totally relate. I never feel on my game when it comes to the band stuff. Bro. I feel like it's so hard to get 5 full-time working dudes into one room. But I mean, 4
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Hey, well, this took us, 3 weeks to get the 4 of us sitting on this couch?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys are busy
Yeah.
on doing what you do in your day-to-day
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah.
But on that note, should we take a quick break
Yeah,
and we'll
let's
come
do it.
back and talk about all the fun things like Hot
Sweet.
Ones.
Yeah.
and all
yeah.
that shit. Okay, cool. All right.
Welcome back, Gareth.
Oh, thank
Papa
you.
G's
Thank you,
House
John.
podcast.
So,
Good to finally have you here. Like ever since we started, like the very first podcast, I wanted you here. I wanted you to come. Like really excited to finally get you to sit down. And,
oh
and
man,
just,
thank
just-
you.
yeah.
It's a pleasure to be
great,
here.
dude.
I really appreciate it. We are back with Set for the Sky. I say this for every one of my guests, but I mean it. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really
Thank you,
appreciate
man.
it. It's been a long time coming. Like I
Really
don't know what your
has.
name is.
Also don't.
We were discussing that outside. So are we going to get to the point now, or are we going to go talk about your name at the end of the fucking podcast?
I don't think it's really that important. I guess we can.
Well,
cover
I
it
at
right
least want
now.
to know what to call you, bro. Do I call you Alex because I'm one of the plebs, or do I call you Brendan because I'm
All right, so
because I'm worthy of calling you
so
Brendan?
the license that you would need is to be able to spell my name correctly.
Okay.
And the reason it changed to Alex is because nobody can fucking spell Brendan. So Brendan is actually my first name.
Okay.
But I just noticed over time that every time I'd like either write my name down or send an email or anything that had to do with my
They
name,
call you
I'd
Brandon.
get Brandon or Brendan, and I'd never get responses to emails. So I was like, fuck that, it's Alex from now on, which is actually my second name.
Okay, so Alex is your
So-
second name.
Yeah, so
Is it Brendon?
look at you. You got the license. You're allowed to call me Brendan now.
Thank you. Let me just. I should have prepared a speech, but I didn't.
That's okay.
Okay, so
Acceptance speech.
there we go. We've got the answer. But thanks.
It's still Alex though.
Yeah.
It's
While you
clever,
guys
though.
actually at it, go check out Set for the Sky on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Check all at their videos. Are you guys on Twitter as well? Obviously, no.
Not
Maybe.
anymore. I
Run
don't.
it. I don't know.
Who's got the login details for that?
It's all linked, bro. Didn't you know that?
What is it?
Oh well, actually,
What's the social
on
media
on the whole
anyway?
topic of linked
Check
thing.
trend. He's like, I don't do gear. I don't
like
do
what?
social media. I don't.
What
I
am
just
I?
Right, guys. It's super cool to have you. Like I just mentioned, we now know that Alex is Brendan and not Alex. But
What am I even?
But super excited for Crown the Empire. I wanted to ask you. You guys have done a lot of supporting acts for international acts. I think the first one I saw you was it a Rocking for Rhinos one, or was it before that?
Yeah.
I think you even
Well,
did one
that
before
that
that.
was the first one with Jam Pack Productions. So
Okay.
before that, we did Eskimo Callboy,
Yes.
Yeah.
and then we did. They're now called New Volume, but they were
Yeah,
called
yeah,
What
yeah.
Now back then.
Okay. Okay.
They
Was
were
there
from
another one?
England. No, I think that's,
No, I think-
that's
yeah,
all
that was
the
it.
ones.
Speaking
Yeah.
of Eskimo Callboy, you guys see that Sushi has departed the band.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
dude.
Times.
Yeah.
That was a great show when they were down in
Yeah,
Cape
dude.
Town.
Yeah.
eh?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know, but they came over to my house for a braai the day
Oh,
after the
wow,
show.
really?
Yeah.
So them being like one of our biggest influences, and me being German, and they're German as well, we
Wow.
had a party and a half, dude. Like we were carrying Zushi out out of my driveway.
Oh wow.
And like to this day, my mum still chats to him on WhatsApp.
Oh,
Like,
serious?
yeah,
That's wicked.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
awesome. Now you say like you're German. Do you speak German? Are
Mm-hmm.
you fluent?
Yeah.
Shit, son.
yeah. I'm not gonna whip it out for
No,
you now.
I wasn't going to ask you
Let
to.
me drink first.
It was- I said it first. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So were you born in Germany?
No,
or-
I'm born here. So
Okay.
my whole family is German though.
Okay.
So mum's side from Germany, dad's side from Namibia. So it's just this
Okay.
combination of
Wow, I didn't know that about
Deutsche
you. That's something new.
Bratwurst.
Cool. And so you guys have always been that side, the Somerset West, Gordons
Yeah.
Bay side,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you as well, Trent.
Well, yeah. Most of my time with the band, yeah. But
Okay.
the last 2 years, I've been more townside for work. Yeah.
Okay, well, we might as well touch on that subject because in the beginning, I mean, you guys were playing like Hermanus Whale Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old days.
Yeah.
And I was like, this band, man, it's fucking cool what they're doing, and blah blah blah. And
Any show.
huh?
Any show.
Yeah, but you guys were you were doing Nasna trips. You were do you hear that I said Nasna trips?
Nasna.
Yeah, yes, sir. You did a lot of road work. You were
Yeah. Well, how
out
many
and
shows did
about.
we play the first year? We were active.
There's
like
54
50, yeah.
shows in the first year.
That's literally
Every weekend.
just over one a week.
Yeah.
Well, if they had a PA system, we were going to play there. It was going to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
So how did that all come about? Because you were originally a 5-piece. I think there was a
Six
six-piece.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the origin story of this band, well, how we got started with shows at least, we completely bullshitted our way into Rock the River.
Yeah.
So a friend of ours, Matt O'Kelly, his band, what were they called?
September in a day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the acoustic thing. What was the?
Yeah.
They had a rock
yeah,
band as
they had
well.
Okay, anyway, it
Can
was
we call
September
it?
in a day that won this competition of like opening bands for the main stage. And I think like a month before the show, they broke up as a band. And we were like, hey, Matt, dude, why don't you join our band? We can still play that show. So we were already a 5-piece band. We didn't need more members. We were like, Matt, dude, you can always just join so we can do this thing. And yeah, so Matt met him for the first time ever at rehearsals. Made it happen, played the worst show ever. It was like, honestly, our first show on a main stage at a New Year's festival. What are you doing back there?
You can actually pull it closer. I'll just I'll take the noise out of it later. It doesn't matter.
I don't know how to pull it.
Okay, no, it's all good. We'll sort it out for the third segment.
Sure.
Okay, go
Anyway,
ahead,
yeah, so we had already had a full lineup and we're just like, dude, join this band so we can play this festival. And somehow after that, shows just started happening and then it kind of became addictive. We were like, well,
Yeah,
there's
of
got to be a
course.
show next week and the next week and next week. And then eventually I think it was 54 shows in that first year.
Was that 2013?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But I
2013.
think back then James kind of was our manager / booking agent guy. So if
So
it wasn't for
sure
him,
Let's just make the
We've-
front man the.
yeah, well, he did all of that stuff. So
We've
he
got
us.
I think all of us have got very supportive parents
Okay.
with this kind of thing.
Awesome.
To the extent that, like, I think our parents supported us to do this musical. I know my dad, basically, my mom and dad, basically said to me for a year, like, do the music thing, get it right. So.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think all of our parents did that.
That's flipping cool,
So
man.
I made I booked every weekend, like Friday, Saturdays,
Yeah,
every
we
kid.
gooid, dude. Yeah.
Make the most of it, and yeah.
It's a bit more difficult to do that these days, eh?
Well,
Yeah.
there's a whole lot less venues and
Yeah.
and the whole preparation for putting shows together is a whole new standard now. Back then it was call a venue, cool, yeah, you can play and we'd be there. And then we'd chuck together any stock photo we found, put some text on, like, cool, done, tour's happening. Like
Sick.
that's how simple it was back then.
That's the way it should be, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, man.
Because at the end of the day, we do this to have fun. At the
Yeah.
same time as to obviously try to make a thing of it.
Yeah.
But it's very important for you to go, and I mean, it's cool. I mean, you're obviously all good friends as well,
Yeah.
and have been for a long time. So that makes it easier as well. Where you got, I mean, have you guys got any trips like lined up or anything planned?
Not actually, no.
Nothing in steel, eh?
Yeah, we always talk about wanting to go and do a Joburg run again, but like we want to always combine it with something when we're prepared for it.
Yeah. What was the last Joburg trip that you guys did?
That was Our Last Night tour. wasn't
yes.
it?
Yeah.
The,
Yeah,
the
before-
first one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first one. Yeah, that's when we did all the shows with him. That was insane.
Oh, that was amazing.
Awesome.
Um,
Yeah.
that was the one. Yeah, that was the one after Cranked, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So we always talk about wanting to do it again, but you see, it takes us 3 weeks to get us together on this couch here. Never mind going away for like a week together.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but it has been in the talks. We always want to do it. So if something came up and it aligned perfectly with our schedules, we'll make it happen.
So do you guys not at this stage, or correct me, get together on a regular basis to for instance, at the moment, because I've got Ramfest coming up, every Wednesday is block booked for the band.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, when
Really? Yeah. But no, just Saturdays first.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
When
Is it
something
Saturdays?
big,
Yes,
when
yeah,
something
yeah.
big comes together, then we make a plan for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like when there aren't any shows lined up, then we don't rehearse much. We rather spend time writing things or brainstorming other ideas that never come together. So
Yeah, I see. Because I mean, I've tried that, and I think when you're together, the magic happens. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
yeah, you got to be.
yeah, and I almost feel like you have to get forced into that situation where like, we got to go do this on this day. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, we don't work with our deadlines or fixed schedules. So like if we just went, well, we'll get together leading up to it. We had to go every single Saturday for the next month and a half is practice.
Okay.
From morning till like late afternoon. And that's the only way that we could get it together. And like I think every single time we play one of these shows, all the gear gets packed up and we go, guys, let's not make a habit out of just leaving the gear packed up. Let's actually get together and do things. And then 3 months later, we're like, oh, there's a show coming up. We should unpack that gear again. It's still in my boot.
Yo, man, I'm just trying to think of all the shows. I mean, let's ask you this question. Of all the shows that you've done, which is, I mean, we can go individually for this one, which is your most memorable?
Sure.
Wow.
Sure.
I think, while you guys think, I have one because I know.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that would be easy
bunch.
for me.
Yeah, so I think for me it was when we opened for Hands Like Houses. Because I think, I'm not sure if it was, but that was the first time our new mothership rack thing worked perfectly. First time.
So the show went off
Yeah.
without a hitch.
Yeah, it was incredible. Like we got off that stage high.
Yeah.
And then I'm not sure, this could even be better, but this was before we had like racks and stuff, is when the first time we played was Our Last Night, when we did the tour to Joburg. Those shows were also incredible. That opened our eyes a lot. So that was also very memorable.
And that show that they had at Sundowners was outdoors.
Yeah, that was
That looked incredible.
incredible, man. That was
looked
so
insane.
nice.
That's probably James's
That's my
best show.
favorite one.
Yeah.
Is it?
There's just
Well, you
something
had a lot
about
of space to
outdoor
work,
shows.
bro.
It was amazing because there was fresh air. Like I can't drink or anything before a show. So and people are smoking inside, and it's horrible because
Well,
I don't have vocal cords.
That's
Be-
where
beta male.
it's quite interesting.
I'm delicate.
Did you know that Attila, when they came down,
Yeah.
enforced that the venues they played in were non-smoking?
Yeah.
Really?
I've been to.
I thought that was pretty
I
impressive.
could agree with that
Mad
though.
respect.
Yeah, I thought.
I can
mean,
imagine
I'm
if
I'm not a smoker. I can be cool with
Yeah,
that.
vape outside.
Yeah, I'm a vapor.
Yeah.
a
A
dish
vape's
flute.
fine. Yeah.
No, I do agree with that. Like if your instrument is your voice and you're in a stuffy room all night, that must suck. I can't imagine what that must feel like if you're
Oh,
playing
yeah.
like late on the lineup as well.
Yeah.
You
for
get
sure.
like a snotty nose, and it's halfway through the night, and
No,
you're
most
Yeah.
of the
on
night you're
stage
shouting
and
at each other in any way, just
Yeah,
trying
trying to
Yeah.
hear each other.
No, you can't be in the venue because
Stop
it just
sounding like an
destroys.
old man, Brendan.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, I can imagine. But I thought that was quite interesting, and I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
At the same time, I mean, it's the first time I've experienced
I'd agree with that.
mercury in a smoke-free environment.
Yeah.
Still always hot though.
Yeah, it's still very hot. Yeah,
What's your
but I
favourite?
kind of like the heat thing. To a certain extent, I get warm very quickly. Obviously, sweat
Yeah.
very quickly. But I don't know. I feel like when I'm warm, I'm loose.
Yeah, okay, but not like 40 degrees warm. Like
Yeah.
when we did our last night, the first time when we came back, we had to carry all the orange cabs up the stairs.
Yeah.
And it was probably about 40 degrees in Cape Town that day.
Yeah.
And Mercury was not tame. It was super packed, super hot.
It gets hot
I
in
mean,
there, bro.
It felt like everything was just slippery. If you walked on a carpet,
yeah.
you'd slip.
I remember trying to get an 8x10 bass cab up those stairs. Like that was killer though. I think a few people's backs were damaged
Yeah.
for
I
good that
remember
day.
the raw stairs. We're trying to get
Yeah.
a 4x12
Oh,
up there.
Sure,
And
man.
there's like tiny.
But those are the days, though, dude. I mean, who
Dude.
doesn't miss
Yeah.
that venue?
Still,
Yeah.
still like some of the best earliest shows that we ever did. The
No,
sound
that's
there was always amazing.
man.
Neil and Alan were
Yeah.
tops.
I used to love going there so much, man. I really enjoyed the intimate nature of it.
Yeah.
The fact that the band was literally a step
Yeah.
up. And it was just, I suppose it was the first time I'd ever played a live show there.
Yeah.
Because my first ever show was with Atlantic South.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 2014 was the first time I ever played live
nice.
anything.
Cool, man.
Yeah, I was a late bloomer, but anyway, we're not going to talk about my age. Okay, so you mentioned yours is yours hands like houses.
yeah.
You?
Yeah, I've got to agree with both
Okay.
of those.
Okay.
Is what
So
I'm saying.
yours is definitely the. Sorry, I didn't mean to skip
Yes,
you, bro.
yeah,
No, it's
let's
cool.
skip Trent. My
Your-
memory
was
was
that-
definitely Sundowners,
Yeah.
with our last night as well. And I think it was also something to do with the audience as well. I think it was a all ages audience.
Oh, wow.
Wasn't
Um,
all ages, all
and
ages.
our music does tend to work better for little girls. So just
That's on record now, by the way.
yeah.
Yeah,
there we
well,
go.
you
Good for
also
the guy.
you said when we were setting this up, you said you'll chat to the girls.
We are all the
I
girls.
suppose that's us. Eh?
Yeah. Sorry, man. Didn't mean to throw you
No,
under the
it's
bus,
okay.
but this is what we're here
Trent,
for.
I didn't say that.
Yes.
So whose yes is it? You.
Yes.
Now,
Hang on, one more show that I do want to add that was
Okay.
pretty incredible. So you mentioned Whale Festival.
yeah.
Waiting for the
So-
spotlight, and I'm gonna-
You can imagine what type of lineup is on a Hermanus Whale Festival.
Oh, fuck,
Two-
I was
two
gonna say
oceans.
that.
Oh, is
I
that
was
yours?
gonna
we
say
skipped
that.
it. We were
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
do you want to go?
Eh?
Do you want to tell them about it?
Yeah, just like as a pure, like authentic fucking rockstar weekend, that was dope because they like put us in a house, there's a pool
Huge
there.
house, yeah.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, no, like they like it was small
Like
town
golf
vibes,
estate.
but we were like a big fish in a small fish pond. you
Oh, wow.
That's kind of what it felt like. Even though it wasn't obviously the case, but yeah, no, the energy was up. It was cool. James was hanging from the roof and shit.
Yeah, that
That's what
setup
he
was
does.
cool. It's
So
like
it's
climbing
underneath, kind of like a
trusses, yeah.
marquee
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So-
it was just
But half of
We did that
Stellenbosch's
3 years
students
in a
were there
row.
as well.
yeah.
So it was 3 years in a row, 3 days of the weekend. They put us up in these like beautiful houses. So just going back to the lineup quick, it's all your classic Afrikaans socky
Yeah.
backtrack
Yeah.
kind of shit, and then Set for the Sky in the middle of it.
That's
so
crazy.
just
And how did they take with the screaming vocals and stuff?
I don't
Oh,
think
we
they
didn't really
knew.
scream much back then.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I couldn't scream back then.
But you do in your debut album. There was a fair amount of screaming.
Yeah, no, we played
That
music.
didn't go down too well at Whale Festival on the last.
Yeah, but that's
one.
what I'm asking.
No, we can
Yeah.
turn it down. You know, you can turn it down
Okay.
if you play for the old people.
we
then
did
you don't scream
intentionally
as
turn
much.
it down.
Okay, well, I mean, that was a valid question
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you actually turned it down for
And the-
specific
yeah.
audiences.
And our older music was also there's pre album music that has been buried and it's gone, so you won't find it. So don't try. But
Except Head for the Hills.
There
That's
was no
just stuck on
screaming in
YouTube.
this.
Stop it.
So did you guys actually take it off, or was it? Are you being serious? So you did have music that you released.
yeah,
Prior
we
I'm
had
sure it's
to-
still floating around there.
it was solid
I'm-
EP, like
you don't
7
want me
tracks.
to
I'm
tell
so
them. I'm
intrigued
gonna.
now.
No,
I'm
you'll
gonna tell
never
them.
know.
Oh,
It's terrible.
the very first tour we went on. Do you guys remember the white CDs we
Yes,
bought?
yes, I
yeah.
still got those.
That wasn't even like they weren't even mixed or mastered. I think we did like an attempt at like mixing our own music.
Yeah.
And back then you didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah,
So
sure.
we were like, this sounds great, and then
It's
just
an album.
just yeah, it's an album. Put it out there. Oh my goodness, I forgot we still had
So
that.
speaking of removing stuff, and we spoke about the Twitter accounts being linked. So this bit us in the ass. In the meantime, when all Facebook and all those things integrated now, we still have our Head for the Hills music video up on YouTube, and none of us know the login details. It's linked to somebody else's. I don't know whether it's a Google account, but we cannot get it down.
Yeah, it's
So-
unfortunately very successful.
It's like the first suggestion that comes up. Like if you listen
wow.
to any of our music, the very next one is that.
You serious?
video.
Yeah. Okay. So it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you got to be proud of everything you've done because obviously, not to sound like a philosopher or whatever, you got to get to where you are now. Obviously,
Yeah,
you've
for
got to
sure.
do those baby steps, and you got to have those what you would think is cringy moments. But I promise you, if I had to go look it up right now,
You'd probably
I'd
cringe, yeah.
Yeah.
I would just be like, okay, wow, they've come so far.
Very far, yeah.
Okay, it was shit. I'm joking.
How much potential?
No,
there
but I'm
was.
definitely gonna go check it out, and I'll share it to Papa G's house
Oh, no.
podcast.
First link in
Somebody
description.
Hide it.
Okay, everybody listening, go look for that video now and comment on it. No, I'm joking.
Please do, actually. I'm quite
gives-
curious to see how many
let's-
people actually do
Yeah,
it.
head for the hills.
The issue is like all the the issue is all the like sort of older people that we know, like parents and stuff that don't listen to heavy music. To them, they love the song. To them, it's like, that's still the best song you've ever done. Like, so we just can't get rid of that
like
song.
every
Though.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Gotta get that Christmas #1, bro.
Yeah.
So we're talking about your upcoming events, your favorite shows, and all that kind of stuff. But let's focus quickly on your debut album. Now, I was hella impressed when. Obviously, I was very new to everything. I just met you guys. We'd played maybe 1 or 2 shows before you guys had come out with the album. First of all, it was packaged like a dream. I mean, you had that whole embossing. You had
The black on black.
black on black,
Yeah,
and then you had the
it was nice.
it must have cost a bomb, but you had that CD cover that came out the sleeve, and it was embossed, and you had like a beautiful graphic done by an illustrator.
Yeah, Christy.
Yeah, Christy the Toy.
Best friends, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Who actually did Papa
who actually
G's,
did
yeah.
Papa G's
There we
house.
go.
Shout out Christy.
well as
Love you,
Atlantic-
dude.
Yeah, check
as
out
well as
Christy the
Atlantic
Toy.
South.
Yeah.
×2 actually, I think. No, he's only done the Fall in Line EP. But he's got great stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
he's
I,
love
whenever I
his
see his Inktober, I always look forward to
Yeah.
October because I always know he's going to post some really
Oh,
cool illustrations. So that must have been a hell of a process because I also saw the updates and stuff with your whiteboard and the X and the
yes,
drums
yeah.
and the guitars
yes.
and synths. And then there's Brendan on the toilet with the snare
Yeah.
drum.
I remember that,
The
yeah.
skits we did, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like that looked like a hell of a fun process.
That was a really, really fun process. I think that's when we were just coming out of the play as many shows as you can. And then we'd kind of moved into the maybe we should put some more music together and compile it. I think that was actually your idea back then. We were talking about just doing a short EP and then it just turned into an album. We had too many songs. We're like, well, it's happening now.
Oh, yeah, it was also because we wanted to print CDs. So
Yeah.
printing a CD when there's 5 songs on there and when there's 12 songs on there costs exactly the same.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, well, if we're going to invest,
Yeah.
let's do it properly. And then I think we just gunned for the like full album.
Yeah, but
straight
keep
up,
in
and
mind
then-
that those previous shows that we had been playing was pre-Facebook marketing times. Like back then, the way you promoted your show was go to the venue the week before and put up your posters.
Yeah.
So Facebook and online music really only came in during and after that launch. So when we put that album together, we went full album and package it as beautifully as possible so that somebody will just buy it because of the way it looks. So yeah, it was a really, really fun time. I think that's the first time that we all finally put all of our heads together and got mistaken for One Direction at the shops.
Yeah, that
That actually happened.
Wow.
We drew a crowd. People actually thought we were One Direction.
You kidding?
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding.
Photos
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
Well,
Got
no.
it.
Sorry. That's awesome, man. I mean, so how long did that whole process take you? I mean, because there were 12 songs, eh?
Yeah.
A year, I think it took us.
I think I seem to remember we released, was it like July, August or something?
Yeah.
2015,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, I mean, we'd been writing on and off probably for about a year before that as well. But like, that's when we, obviously, as Brendan said, when we like buckled down and decided. So I think from the point of shit, let's do this, like today, I probably took about a year, I guess.
Okay.
But like much longer because of the marketing and all the, the cool graphics and stuff that went into it.
I'm just gonna be very interesting to seeing how your voice comes through on this podcast.
Yeah,
You
that's
got
so
nothing-
true.
man.
it's
Maybe
got
we
nothing-
should,
got nothing
we
coming
should just
through.
climb in here
wanted to
together.
Yeah, maybe
people
just chuck that in the middle
Speaking
there.
to
But
nobody.
okay, so it took it about a year, hey?
Yeah.
Sure.
Of actual grinding though.
Yeah.
Like
But yeah,
pre-planning.
that was basically full-time grinding because we were studying or we didn't really do much at that back in
Yeah.
the day because I was like, oh, we're doing the band and that's all we're doing. So it took about a year of like full-time grinding. And then even then I was studying sound engineering at the time. So I wasn't even good at mixing back then. So that was a whole journey as well to like learn how to do that properly as well. So
Well, I mean, it came out pretty great as far as I'm
we,
concerned.
if we listen back, we think, oh, I could have done so
Ah,
much
but
better.
that's
But
the
like,
same- but that's why it's also sometimes. I mean, you're gonna have the same issue if you're gonna give it to someone else. You're still gonna have that. Oh,
Yeah.
it's like what do you call it? Buyer's remorse.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
when
yeah.
you buy something, you're like, fuck, I bought this
Yeah.
now and I'm out of money. It's the same thing where, should I have done that or done this? Listen, just leave it. It's all the nuances that you would hear, the audience is not going to pick up as far as I'm concerned. But it was great. And then you guys, around that time as well, I think you were working with your, I don't know if you still work with him and he's still does all your videos, Brett.
Oh, that was
Back-
wild.
Brent,
back
Brett.
then, yeah, Brett.
Brett.
Yeah.
Brett Rayner, I think his
back
name
then,
is.
Yeah, Brett
How's
was
that
studying
memory,
with-
bro?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was a lucky person that we had in our lives.
So
back
I
then.
studied with him
Okay.
while he was doing film.
His stuff
And
is great. Eh?
Yeah, man. Like,
Yeah.
I went to school with him actually, same as Trent.
Yeah.
And so we knew him from there, and he got into film school at the same place that I was studying sound. And then I think, needed a project done. Like, I need to record a band or something. So I'm like, well, you
Here we
could,
go.
you could do this. And then after he did that, he suddenly got super busy with this kind of stuff. So I think I like to think that helped him as well in terms of like what he's doing now. I think he moved to England now, and he's
Oh,
doing
wow.
Did,
he's
yeah.
doing
Okay.
big
Yeah,
stuff
he's
now.
very
Yeah.
Well,
successful.
glad to hear he's doing
So,
well. And
yeah.
then you also did that
He's
sweet.
getting married.
He's getting married.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yeah, Jay.
Mazel tov.
And then you guys did that sweet music video with Luke of As Time Divides, former Atlantic South frontman.
Is that a thing? Sorry, is that a thing?
Is that a thing?
Because I never know. Like, I'd say, oh, it's Luke from Atlantic South when he comes on stage.
Well, he's not in Atlantic South anymore.
I know.
you can't say it
but
now.
then what do I do?
Well, at the time he was in Atlantic South, so
Okay.
you know. But now he's As Time Divides. If he ever joins you on that
Okay.
on
You
the
must say the
stage,
right
you
thing.
got to
Don't
say
do
As
that.
Time
Yeah.
Divides, bro. But anyway, let's take a quick break and we'll see you guys after. Oh wait, yeah, we'll save the best for last.
Hey guys, sorry for the interruption. We've just finished up our last rehearsal for Crown the Empire. That's happening on Friday. Just a reminder, we've got a competition running with Paul Butler Music and Jam Pack Productions, where we've got Zildjian and Ernie Ball giveaways, as well as 2 Crown the Empire tickets. Yeah, that's it from us. Enjoy the rest of the show and subscribe to Papa G's house. See you there.
What do you think of my new little artwork here?
Absolutely beautiful.
My girlfriend's mother painted it for me. I think it's lovely.
Wow.
Those are good.
But we were busy talking about your music videos and your work with Brett, and we've been teasing this and we've been talking about your new music, but now it's time to talk about it.
No, it's throw down.
Throw it out. So where's the motivation come from? What's the thought process? Is it going to be quintessential Set for the Sky? Is it going to be a little bit different? Hit me with a scoop.
Ooh, who's ready for that one? I don't know.
I can probably I have a thought. Okay, so we've ever since our last single, Alibi, which is like the first song we did after our debut album, we've obviously matured and we wanted to write more intricate and progressive and mature music, which Alibi captured quite well, we feel. We're really proud of that one. And this song now as well, same sort of caliber of maturity, I'd say. But I think compared, this one has a lot of our old school flair into it. So there's a lot of like happy, bouncy synths, and it's upbeat and up-paced, well paced and stuff. But it's also heavier. So there's
Ooh.
I think James has gotten really good at screaming over the last few years, and this is probably, it's not the first one, but one of the first ones where we really pushed some screaming vocals
wow.
into our songs. Yeah.
James, how did you fare with that? Because you said in the beginning you didn't do a lot of screaming and all that kind of stuff. I know you're very capable of doing because I've seen you do it live. Just bring that mic a little bit closer. I don't know if we're going to be able to. Yeah, there we go. Get nice and cozy up
in
here.
for that.
Straight. So how was it for you, man?
Yeah.
How's the evolution of the vocals been for you?
Yeah, so Attack helped a lot.
Austin Carla.
Well,
Or
no,
Caleb
Caleb.
Showman.
Caleb.
Probably
all of
Caleb,
them
yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Caleb and what's the Nick and all those. Yeah, we were fangirls of those guys.
Is it, eh?
Back in the day as well. Yeah, at one point we were like thinking, okay, cool, we'd like to do screams because we've got Luke in to do some Luke from As Time Divides, and to do some screams for us as a guest thing. And then at one point we were going on tour, so we were like, well, we can't organize a vocalist for every show. James, you need to be able to do the screams if we don't have a guest vocalist. So I started screaming. In the beginning, it's very difficult to scream and sing in the same song. And then, obviously, if you play lots and lots and lots of shows and you do it, and it gets easier. And
and you
And
take
now
your
it's-
vitamins, and
You take
Take
your
your
vitamin,
vitamin.
and you
you
need to
eat your
sleep enough.
fruit.
Eat your
And yes,
tomatoes.
and
Yes.
yeah, eat your tomatoes.
And
Yeah,
you drink honey.
Yeah.
yeah, and then it got actually I think it really got solid around about the time we went with Our Last Night on tour for the first time. Also, I think I learned a bit from them as well because we were really close, like watching them every night, and like you can sort of gauge someone's technique and so on. And so I learned some tricks there as well. Also with in-ears, when we switched to in-ears, I could hear myself more, so I wasn't like pounding the clean vocals out just so I could hear myself anymore. So by the time I got to the screams, my
You had
voice
energy.
wasn't gone, yeah.
Yeah.
So that made a big difference. You can just like sing softly, and you can hear yourself. It's amazing. That's the joy.
Did
of
you ever check out that
earphones.
Melissa Cross DVD
Yes,
and all
yes,
that
the
kind
Zen
of
of
stuff?
Screaming.
Yeah.
Number 1 and 2.
Okay, great. So yeah.
Yes, yeah. Oh, that was the greatest. That was like the only resource for. that was the only resource for anyone who wanted to learn screaming for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Whereas now you can. I mean, there were some terrible YouTube videos back then, but now there's some amazing ones. And for some reason, it's definitely the women that are better screaming teachers. Like, I've
Oh,
seen
really?
A couple of them, yeah.
Sure.
Not just Melissa Cross, but there's a bunch of other ones. Don't ask me what their names are.
Jeez, have you guys seen that? It was a bit of a viral video that went around. The guy's in a band. He's Russian, and he did that Freddie Mercury "We Will Rock You," and he was on his cell phone, and he did it all in screaming. But he's got this most guttural sounding. What is that fucking band now, man? I'm just trying to think of it.
What's his name? Alex Terrible?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. What's the band called?
Man.
He's got tattoos on his.
Yeah. I don't know what the band
and
is.
he wears a mask on stage.
Yeah.
They all do.
I don't know it now.
Comment. Let us know who that band is. I know they're Russian. The guy has a tank and he's full of tattoos and he's got this insane.
Yeah, it's some brutal scream.
Yeah. But anyway,
Do it for the motherland.
okay. So the new song is. You said, "Do it for the motherland." So you're taking some elements from the old school Set for the Sky. You're introducing some new elements. I'm fucking excited, man. I'm very excited. I mean, I've always
So are we.
I've always enjoyed your guys' tunes. I was gonna whip out my Set for the Sky T-shirt.
Oh, you actually have one?
Yeah, I've got one,
Oh,
but I
no
was too
way.
afraid to put it on to see how much I've expanded in the years that I have since I bought it. But yeah, I still have all the merch and everything.
Oh,
I
that's
think I
awesome.
bought
Cool,
that
dude.
merch at Anklas.
Oh, yes.
It was this. I think it was
Great
the
venue.
second leg of your launch
Yeah.
tour.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Second
that
leg of that 1 year long launch tour.
Yeah, it was long, eh? Hey, well, you got the most out of it. I mean, it's everywhere. I heard it everywhere. You know,
It's great.
obviously not on the radio. Like we're
Yeah,
trying to get
yeah.
on the radio,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
every person's house I went to, it was obviously because another reason I heard it a lot because old Lukey was on the one song.
Of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
What was that song called again?
Live like you're on fire.
That's it. Ah, fuck, a banger. The video is a banger as well. I really
We
enjoyed it.
filmed that all in like one go, kind of like this. But like
Good
in a
job.
warehouse, like generators coing, it
Yeah.
was cool. I don't even
That's
know how we
grueling,
got
man.
that.
Sure, yeah,
those
dude.
those videos we did were grueling because it's all DIY stuff, and we like pulling.
We slept like 4 generators with.
Shame we
dying of
gave Luke
fumes.
such a hard time as well for a while after that video.
Yeah.
So- hey, Luke, aren't you going to put eyeliner on for the show? We gave him a hard time, but just for fun though, because he was an easy target back then.
We used
But-
to do that all the time.
But what a voice, eh? Man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, man,
we were like,
yeah.
if we were gonna get screams, it's this guy. No,
Yeah,
no
for sure.
two ways about it. So
And he's deep into the sound engineering stuff himself.
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
so-
yeah, his
Some
mixes
good
now
stuff,
are,
dude.
are
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
Good job, Luke.
Good job, Lukey boy.
Yeah, we get sick.
Listen, you guys need to stop
Wicked
talking about
sick.
me, okay? But okay, so what's this new song called, guys?
Crickets.
James can
Reanimate.
Oh,
answer.
it's called Crickets. Okay, and what was the inspiration behind the song Crickets?
The song's called Reanimate.
Okay.
About zombies.
But zombies.
Yeah. Maybe not. Yeah.
Very unfortunate timing for the release because it actually has got nothing to do with the coronavirus. Whatsoever.
It was actually inspired by
I thought you were going to say something completely different, but anyway.
It's actually inspired by the water shortage that we had here in
Oh,
Cape Town
wow.
a while back.
Yeah.
And that's how long we've been listening to this song. Like one of the
Oh yeah, the
hundreds of
song's
versions
old,
of the
man.
song.
Yeah, it's
The
like
song has
2
been old
years.
for us. And so
know the
yeah, so
feeling.
it's not actually about a virus outbreak. Sorry about that, but it is about zombies and it's about that kind of thing. What's clever about it? Anyone like
you
anything?
You
wrote the
wrote the
lyrics.
lyrics,
Yeah.
right?
Well, kind of if you listen to the lyrics, I'm quite proud of this song's lyrics because
Mhm.
I think everything makes sense and works nicely, and you can sort of, if you really want to take it like
Mhm.
any other way you can, but there's a bit of a narrative, which is nice.
Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to just quickly cover. In terms of the lyrics, what is usually your inspiration when writing lyrics? Because it seems now with the zombies, you can be quite the storyteller. Where
Very much.
well, I mean, you do you listen to a song, it gives you a vibe,
Yeah,
and you want to tell a story. And this one's about zombies,
yeah.
but maybe for others, do you take like a certain theme and say, okay, that gives me that kind of vibe, and I'm gonna apply this kind of theme to it because that's how it makes me feel.
Yeah. So how we write songs at the moment, it has changed over the years and so on. But at the moment, Genre does a lot of the writing of the music,
Mhm.
and then I'll put vocals over it.
Okay.
So that's why you sometimes hear this desperate pop voice over this battlefield of heavy metal. But otherwise, yeah. So the album was very much a concept album where it was a lot of like stories. There was just like a whole world.
Basically,
That we
the
had.
fallout from Crown Empire.
Yeah.
Stolen.
Yeah.
That's what they think because they haven't gone and read the lyrics. But it's fine. I'm not going to argue too much with that.
Yeah.
And then after that, we decided, okay, well, let's write something that isn't like fictional, you know. So then I did a really like anger management sort of song called Alibi. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, just to stop you on Alibi.
Alibaba.
Alibaba. Get some proper bites there, bro. Secret flavor. But now with Alibi, that came about a year after the release of the album, right?
Oh, like 3 years.
Yeah.
Quite a while.
No,
ago.
but no,
It's
man.
been a long time.
Yeah.
Was it
Very
last
well.
year already?
The
year before,
end of the year
2018.
before. End of 2018.
So
Yeah.
why does it feel like okay?
Quality
Anyway.
over quantity.
Yeah, sure. Okay,
That's
so
the good excuse.
That's the good excuse.
okay, so geez, I've got all my timing a bit wonky. So Karen, what you were saying?
Okay, so
Or have you lost your train of thought?
no, yeah, so we were talking about
Alright.
the songs and Alibi, and then this latest song came. We started writing, and I don't know how it came to be about zombies, but there were some really cool like. This is the first time I really wanted to try the rap thing properly. This was actually written before Alibi was written.
Okay.
Just like parts of it.
Okay, so you got some like
So-
groovy rappy bits.
Yeah,
in
so
it.
Yeah,
that's
not
where,
as much as Alibi.
No, Alibi is
Okay.
like solid rap, metal. It's yeah, and then Reanimate has some screaming in it. It's got some falsetto in it, which I'm very happy about. I don't know if it's the greatest creative choice, but
Oh, we're about to
I'm
find
just
out.
happy that there's a song with me having
Yeah.
like 2 milliseconds of falsetto, and then yeah, there's a lot of like parts to it. It progresses very
Yeah.
nicely.
Wicked,
So
man.
what I'd like to add to like writing lyrics
Mm.
often is James, like you said, he's quite storyteller. He always comes up with the coolest narratives and stuff. But what we generally try to do is always have an underlying theme in the lyrics. So if you had no clue what the song was about, you could connect with it on sort of a more emotional level.
Yes.
So even though you might like most people won't even notice that Reanimate is about zombies or anything like that, but that's the point. Like we try and have this underlying theme that you would be able to relate to it if you had personal shit going on.
Yeah, well, you
like
can
that
create
kind
your
of stuff.
own narrative by listening to the lyrics. Is that what
Yeah.
you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, because that's how I take it as well. I mean, sometimes I don't even like looking up the meanings behind
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
I think there was an article that my girlfriend sent me recently, like Summer of '69 and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Very different meanings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very different meanings
Yeah.
to what it actually sounds like.
Yeah.
There's a list of them. Maybe I'll share it on the Puppet G's page if I can find it. But yeah, man, Reanimate. I'm excited to hear it. I think the world is excited to hear it. Is this going to be the first time anybody's ever heard it?
This is going to be the first time.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Thank
So
you for the honor, guys.
Yeah, dude. Thank you.
I
man.
appreciate it.
We have played it live for the last year or so.
Okay.
So people will kind of recognize it if you've been to the shows. But to have it properly recorded and mixed and mastered and everything, this will be the very first time, yeah.
That's
Interesting.
awesome, man. I'm very excited. And then obviously post Crown the Empire, have you got I know you're releasing this song. You've got a new song that you're going to be playing this weekend, because it will be this weekend by the time people hear this. What is your plan going past the
Another hot sauce challenge.
Oh yes, let's talk about that. We'll talk about the hot sauce challenge quickly, but then I do want to hear what your plans are for the rest of the year.
Yeah, well, it's simple. So we don't have any big shows lined up at the moment, and we don't put out music as often as we'd like to, and we have quite a bit of a backlog of songs and stuff. So I think we would really just like to get productive this year and get some more music out. So
Cool, man.
that's probably the focused plan for 2020.
Okay. And the hot ones challenge, guys. That's another thing I mentioned earlier, is that I love the fact that you guys can get so creative, and you did the Bri promo for I can't remember which band.
Secrets.
Yeah,
Secrets.
Secrets. And then you've done I think there was one that involved cards. I think it might have been the same one.
That
Yeah,
was in the same one.
The exposure,
Yeah,
paid in
yeah.
exposure, yeah.
It's awesome to see, man. It's really entertaining. It keeps your audience obviously
Thanks,
engaged.
man. I'm glad it's received that way.
Yeah.
We always trying to overthink these things.
That's also, I mean, that can be debilitating.
Yeah.
By overthinking, oh no, but I think we should do this and think we should do that and blah blah blah, and then before you know it, boom, 3 weeks have passed. You're like,
Yep.
fuck, we didn't do anything.
Exactly, dude. The struggle.
So
is
yeah,
real.
I mean that's something that everybody can learn from this, is that don't overthink shit.
yeah, it's true.
If you're gonna do it, do it. There's no better time than now. And like I was talking about, sitting down with Set for the Sky, when we were talking off air, is that I always when people, I always wanted to cut my teeth earlier. There's no better time than now. That's
Yeah,
how you're
just-
gonna cut
just
your
make
teeth.
things
Just sit
happen
down
right
and
now.
fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know.
It's very true.
So if you've ever got a little itch you want to scratch, go scratch it, because it'll fester. Or it'll just get worse.
Fester.
That's a terrible fucking analogy, but I'm gonna go with it, and I don't take back anything. So guys, so how was that hot sauce challenge? Who came up with the idea and all that kind of jazz?
Trent came up with the idea.
Okay.
Didn't.
He loves hot sauce.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right.
He's trolling me. It's
No, Trent did not come up with the idea.
So like the brief for
Trent
the
plays
video.
guitar.
Yeah, that's what he
full
does.
stop.
Good job. We still
Thanks,
love you.
bro.
So the brief for that video was do something that requires the equivalent value of a ticket to the specific show that was. Same thing with Secrets. So the last one for Secrets, we were given the brief of doing a Bri, and that was kind of a hard shoot to do. That was a full day's worth
Like
of work.
how do you make a Bri look shitty?
Yeah, Bri's always good.
Yeah, like in South Africa, like
So like that one was really difficult to do. So this time around, when we got a similar brief, but we got to choose the topic, we're like, fuck that, let's do something real. Like, let's sit down and just have fun with this one. So we just sat Googling a little bit the week before, and we found that hot sauce challenge box. We love hot stuff. He's got a serious problem. Like, I don't think he can taste
Guilty.
anything anymore.
I'm the same.
I trail pretty close behind, but it gets me pretty good sometimes. And we just knew that these guys weren't going to deal with it. So we're like, yep, that's going to be funny. Let's give them hell. And honestly, that last sauce on that table was probably the hottest thing.
What was it? What sauce was
I
it?
don't even know what was in it. It was called Oh Shit.
Oh shit.
And like that's exactly what it was, dude. Like the moment, I don't know if you've seen the video, but the moment I put that in my mouth, I looked like a fucking possum. Like I realized that something was wrong. Yeah, and yeah, it was just super good. It was really, really funny. Like just seeing Trent just leave the building halfway through the video. He was still physically there, but mentally he had been
That's amazing.
absent.
I'm gonna give it another watch, man.
Yeah, that was good fun to do. So yeah, it was really cool to just sit down with the guys and do something authentic and not stage this whole skit thing and plan around, because that always goes wrong when you shoot it. The message doesn't come across properly. We're like, fuck that, sit down, cameras, lights, sources, let's go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No, I love it. Keep it up. Keep it coming. Hard, thick, fast. It sounded like a
God,
porn
thick
promo,
fast.
but it's,
Yeah, yeah.
it's all good. But in saying that, follow Set for the Sky on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere you can find it. Follow them on all the social media platforms. Streaming platforms, sorry, your Spotify's, your Apple Music, and all that kind of jazz. Look out for Reanimate that's coming very soon.
This week?
It's coming
Yeah,
this
this
week.
Friday.
You're going to hear it right now for the first
Thursday.
time. Mixed and mastered and all beautified and lovely.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear it. That is Jandre. That is Brendan. Hash Alex. That is Trent. That is James. This is Set for the Sky. This is Papa G's house. This is Reanimate. Until then, we say peace.
Oh, yeah.
I was picked to outplay, survive every single thing you could throw. Combine, could you tell I'm a beginner round? That's my style. I'm not the same as any of the other guys. I'm only interested in dinner. I'm not all people talk blood. Captured by the fire in the morning run. I can feel a lot of shock really deep within my throat. For thirst and the pride and the wonderfully dry. Could we be the reanimated? I don't remember what we did last night. How do we survive? Are we truly alive? This would turn dark before I could realize. I stand my ground. You took the breath away. My mind is drowned. This choice is made to me. We've run out of water. No more air in my lungs. No one's heart's beating for you. This world is the playground we wander. While our faces are stained as our eyes search in hunger. What makes this creature grow? Does it ever keep still? Does it ever stop moving? We wait here for the dawn. So stop for it. Don't cast the throne. Every gasping breath to take is dust. No taste, one question everything. Take it, Jason. We've run out of water. No more air in my lungs. No one's heart's beating for you. This world is the playground we wander. All faces are stained as our eyes search in hunger. I will search for you. I promise I won't sleep till I find you too. And I will stay in the dark. You will run away as I fall apart. I will search for you. I promise I won't sleep till I find you too. And I will stay in the dark. You will run away as I fall apart.
That's where we're going.